Katie here, professional makeup artist, stylist and founder of beautyandtheboutique.com, which is an online store featuring all my handpicked must-haves. Today I'm going to teach you how to play up your eyes. Take a look on screen now so that you can see just how much more open and bigger my eyes look after applying the techniques I'm going to share with you in this video. So if you've always wondered how to master your eyeshadow, there's going to be some really great simple tips in this video that's going to help. Are you ready? Let's get started. Before you reach for your eyeshadow, it's really helpful to prep and prime your eyelids first. And the reason it's good to do this is because by doing this technique I'm about to share with you, your eyeshadow is going to stay on for longer and the colour of the eyeshadow is also going to look truer to form. So you're simply going to take some of your foundation that you wear on your face and you're going to tap that all over your eyelid up to the brow bone. The next step is kind of essential because you then want to set that foundation in place. To do that, you're going to take some translucent powder and you're simply, with a powder puff, going to press and roll that powder to set that foundation in place. And then with a brush, just going to dust off any excess. The reason this technique is called a cut crease is because essentially using eyeshadow we're going to cut across the crease of the eye. And what that is going to do is create more depth of colour to the crease, and in turn it's going to lift the eye and make the eye look more kind of larger and more open. You can use any eyeshadow colour to do this as long as it's a shade darker than your skin tone. I like to use a fairly neutral tone, a kind of tone that you might walk past in the shops but actually has a really lovely effect, and it's shade Moonstone here. If you want to find out more about this eyeshadow palette that I'm using in this video, you can click the link below. It's also really important to get the right brushes. Now, when I say that, perhaps you've got brushes at home already, but if you don't have brushes at home already, a really good set to invest in is a set by Nancy, and you'll see a picture on screen now. And if you want to read about this set that I really love and think is really good value for money, you can click the link below. I'm taking my brush, I'm dabbing it into the eyeshadow, and then I'm tapping off any excess of the eyeshadow from the brush because it's better to apply a little and build up than apply too much. An easier way to apply eyeshadow in the mirror is sometimes you can go to apply it and you're kind of like squinting one eye, opening the other. Actually, if you do this, this is so much easier. So you just tilt your head back, keep your eyes open, hold your mirror slightly up, and this way you can see both eyes without having to close one and open the other. And then starting in the middle of the crease, I'm going to place my brush and I'm then going to go backwards and forwards into the crease. You can see I'm almost rolling the handle in my fingertips, and this just makes it so much easier to use. Now, don't worry if at this point your shadow's looking a little bit messy, because that's why we blend. You'll also want to make sure that as you take this colour downwards, you don't take it too down because this can draw the eye downwards. So you want to make sure you stop just in line with the end of your eyebrow tail here. Then with your blending brush, you'll simply again hold the brush lightly and you're going to go over that crease that you've just applied with little circular buffing motions. The trick to blending is so that the eyeshadow looks naturally soft and you can't see where it stops and starts. It just looks like a soft hue and wash of colour. Now, if you've taken some of the colour too far down the eye and you're feeling like, oh, I just want to give that eye a little bit of a lift, I'm going to take a Q-tip and you're just going to wipe away any excess. Now, if your eyeshadow is stubborn, simply take your Q-tip, dip it in a little bit of moisturiser and then wipe off, and that will really it will act like an eraser. Just be sure to reapply any foundation where you've taken that foundation off. Now you've perfected the cut crease technique, we're simply going to apply a colour to the mobile part of the lid. So for that, I'm choosing this shade here from the Blink palette, and it's called Highline. Take your brush, and this one's a blending brush from the Nancy set, and hopefully you've got one at home similar, but if you don't, check out the Nancy set through the link below. Load up your brush with the eyeshadow, tap off any excess, and then you're going to take your mirror, tilt your head back, look down, and you're simply going to start in the middle and pat either side. If you want more intensity, then simply load more onto your brush, tap off, and put a second layer on. Next up, we're going to create more of a lift here to the brow bone, and to do that you just simply need a shade that's a couple of shades lighter than your natural skin tone. So in this Blink palette I'm going to use this shade, Gypsum, and you don't need any fancy brushes for this, you can just use your little pinky finger. Dab into the shade, then you're simply going to press this shade from the arch of your brow down to the tail. Take your ring finger and blend little feathery strokes. This next technique is something that I use as a makeup artist on clients when they come to my makeup chair and they're saying, do you know what, I feel like I look tired. Now, the most obvious thing is to reach for concealer, but actually before you do that, you could reach for a pencil such as this one. This is called a Clarify pencil, and it's a light coloured eyeliner made specifically for the under eye waterline here. Now this is really clever because it's a nude shade, and quite often you might have seen people use a white pencil for this, but that can often look a little bit too harsh. The trick here is for this pencil to look natural, but just clean and almost kind of wipe away any discoloration from this waterline. And what that will do in turn is make the eye look bigger and more open. Let me show you. If you want to find out all the ways you can use this little pencil, and it's really, really clever, then you can click the link below to discover all the ways I like to use this in my store. So we've completed the eyeshadow. Now it's all about creating more wow and volume with the mascara. I'm going to show you a really clever primer that works with every single mascara you ever owned and makes that mascara look incredibly voluminous. So it's called Code FFL, and it's very unique. If you can see, it's almost like a beige shade, and this contains tiny, tiny little fibres in it that adhere to your lash. I'm going to show you how I like to apply it. I start on the top of the lash and simply at the roots, wiggle and lift up. Up to you if you want to use this on the bottom lashes as well. For this look, I'm just going to keep this to the top lashes because I feel that the more impact I can create on the tops of my lashes, the more it kind of lifts the eye upwards. After you've applied the Code FFL primer, then you're going to grab your mascara, be that in black, brown, any colour that you choose. I'm using the Lord & Berry Back in Black mascara because I love the intensity of the black, and I really like the thinness of the wand because it coats every single baby lash. Start at the base, push in at the base and then lift up, and that's a really easy way to apply your mascara to get the least amount of clogs possible. So by getting most of the mascara at the base and the root of the lash and then lifting up, it means that you're going to have less mascara on the tips, which is often where the cloggy mascara forms. To do the bottom lashes, I take the wand and I almost stamp the colour onto the base of the lashes first of all, right at the roots, little stamps, and then I take the wand and just take the wand downwards. Sometimes I'll hold the wand vertically to coat each lash. Take a look on screen now at the before and after. Before you go, I've got one final tip I really want to share with you involving this palette. It's got a dark brown and a black. And quite simply, get a little tiny brush like this. This is the liner one from the Nancy set. You might have one at home similar. And you dip it into either the dark brown or the black. I'm going to go for the dark brown because I think it will just look softer. And then if you're someone that struggles with eyeliner, this is amazing because it creates a depth of colour but still looks soft and natural, and you'll get no shaky lines. Starting from the middle, just paint in little stroke motions. So don't worry about doing a fluid line like that because that can sometimes be a little bit difficult. Just little strokey motions to the corner of the eye. And then from the middle, start stroking the colour to the inside corner of the eye. And what this is going to do is going to create a beautiful depth of colour near the lashes that's going to make the lashes look even fuller. So friends, this is the finished look. I hope you feel you've learnt something in this video, and if you want more tips and tricks and to see more about the products that I've used in this video and how they could work for you, then click the links below. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I shall see you soon in another video. Bye!